Hi guys, thank you for tuning in again. Is it public? No. Last week we spoke about domestic violence and move it back maybe. Turn it towards you a little bit. We're gonna wait for a few more people to tune in. Cause you gotta use this.
Turn your lighting up higher. You're gonna need to charge that.
Okay. Hopefully it lasts. I had a charger, but hopefully it lasts.
Stop talking.
Hi everyone, thank you guys for tuning in so far. Last week we was talking about like plastic surgery and getting your bodies done and everything like that, and we also drifted off that and went into domestic violence. Yeah, and went into domestic violence. When we started speaking about the domestic violence, our son started like yelling and screaming and everything like that. So we had to get off of it like quick. So we didn't really get to touch into everything. I feel like we got like a snippet of domestic violence. I was also speaking on the fact that it's not okay for, men to put their hand on women and women to put their hands on men. I also was basically saying that us as women, we do provoke men. We do provoke them a lot. Like 9 times out of 10, it's rare that a man would try to provoke a woman to a point where she wants to hit or she wants to fight. So that's pretty much what we were talking about last week. And like I said, we didn't really get to touch all aspects of domestic violence because I feel like it's not just physical. It's also verbal. It's also what else? Like emotional. It's emotional. Like
what do you consider verbal domestic violence?
Verbal, like
explain that.
Like being in a relationship and verbal in a relationship, verbal with family. I'm gonna touch on both. Being in a relationship and you're always getting talked down upon from your spouse or disrespected by your spouse. So for example, you fucking bitch, like if you're insecure about your weight, you fucking fat bitch. Or skinny, you fucking skinny bitch, or every time you guys argue, it's a disrespect. Not even just every time y'all argue, like all the time, it's disrespect. It's verbal disrespect.
See, that's new to me because I thought like women just naturally disrespect a man when they upset. Like y'all naturally say demeaning things and try to belittle y'all man when y'all upset. Whether y'all mean it for that minute or not, that's why I wanted to see your definition, and now I got a better understanding of it. Because at first, to me, I thought that's just what women do when y'all be upset. Mm-hmm. Y'all just talk to y'all man in a disrespectful tone.
mean, thinking like about us, like I feel like we argue, but I don't be like, you even mentioned that to me, like when we was eating the other day, like you never called me like or jokingly said my black ass, or you know what I mean? Like so arguing like with you, I wouldn't be like, oh, your black ass or fuck out of here. Like I don't to me, like when me and you argue, thinking about our relationship, I don't try to like degrade you. Like I don't try to, you don't do that to me neither though. Like when we like have arguments, you don't make me feel like less of a person. Like if we're arguing, we're speaking about that. You get what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be arguing about what we're arguing about. Like we're not gonna argue about like each other. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
And I feel like it's like a lot of people that's in relationships where the men do that, like, or the woman does that, basically disrespect the person that they're with.
Well, I think it also comes down to like what that person considers disrespect, because somebody might consider that disrespect or just talking to someone in a demeaning manner. Like if I don't talk to you a regular type of way, and then when we argue, I'm talking to you in a way that belitles you, I can take that as disrespect. Mm-hmm. So it depends on like how you converse with your spouse when an argument occurs.
What I feel like is domestic abuse, like verbally, is degrading the person you're with, like touching every flaw that person has. Oh. You know what I mean? Like touching, like not just the flaw, touching every insecurity that person has. You know what I mean?
All right, so we got a good question. What about the word bitch?
As far as the word bitch, honestly, the way it's thrown around now, to me, it depends on your relationship. To me, if you go into a relationship and that very first argument you guys have a week in or a month in or however in, and the dude calls you a bitch, to me, if you don't speak on that or nip that in the butt, then that's something that you're going to be accustomed to hearing, because it's going to keep happening. Like that's just how it goes. Me and Barton never had that type of relationship. So if I piss him off that bad to where he called me a bitch, then it's like, oh, I really must have ticked him off. And we've been together for a long time. And I literally only heard him call me a bitch twice. I'm going to be honest. I've never, outside of that, ever heard him call me a bitch more than twice. And it's not something that we do. Like, but I feel like men feel like it's okay to call a woman a bitch because her and her friends do that to each other. Like, bitch, what? Like, bitch, what? Let me just, yo, bitch, why the fuck? And it just happens like that. So men think that it's okay. So I feel like the word bitch is different depending on the type of relationship you share with your spouse, if you're going to accept that or not. I am not comfortable with him calling me a bitch. That's, to me, not okay. You're disrespecting me, and I don't like it.
But your friends could call you a bitch.
That's why I just explained.
I understand that. I didn't say. Let me speak. I'm simply thinking like, I don't understand that.
Because I never seen a man call a bitch, their girlfriend, a bitch, and not, first of all, that word is disrespectful. So just understand what I'm trying to say. When we talk to our friends and we do the whole bitch what or bitch let me tell you, it's more in a general, like regular type of tone. Your dude calling you a bitch is because he's upset. It's never in a polite way or never in a nice way. To me, like I said, that word is disrespectful. So it's hard for me to thoroughly explain to you guys to understand. Like, when a man say it, it's not like your man is like, oh, bitch, let me tell you what homie did up the street. Like, yo, bitch, let me tell you what dude did. You know what? No, anytime the man is calling you a bitch, 9 times out of 10, it's because y'all arguing or he's disrespecting you or it's some shit happening outside of it just being, oh, bitch, let me tell you what homie said. No, when y'all in a relationship and y'all happen to call the female a bitch, is like, bitch, don't play with me. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Or bitch is disrespectful. It's never nothing good after the bitch word. You get what I'm saying? Like when we speak about it amongst each other, we like, bitch, girl, bitch, girl. Like it's like that.
But you can see where the complication comes in.
I can see where the complication come at, but I feel like, again, it depends on the relationship.
Somebody wrote, yeah, I don't find it comfortable either coming from a man because it's how they're using it, which you just touched upon. So I can understand that. If you ain't calling your mama a bitch, don't call me a bitch.
I can't agree with that because I know some men that call their mother a bitch.
And I know mothers that call their daughter bitches and they
have
go back. I'm talking about a normal conversation, not disrespecting.
Me and my mom have that relationship where we talk like we cool and it's like, bitch, let me tell you.
I don't agree with that at all. Simply because I think it's going to become an issue when you want to call your mother a bitch when things aren't good and they're going to take it disrespectful.
I feel like it's about the way you use it, when you're using it, how you're using it.
To me, it's more so like if I just wouldn't even, like, you know how people say, like, yo, you want to use the word nigga or something like that? Mm-hmm. I don't have an issue with someone calling me a nigga. Okay. Because of the tone in which I use it. Now, if I did, I would have an issue in every aspect.
This is my thing. I feel like it's disrespect when disrespect comes after that word. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not disrespect when it's that word and then you're saying something regular or you're just talking or it's just a flow of a conversation. But when you say either bitch or nigga and then there's disrespect behind it, like, nigga, suck my dick, disrespectful. Nigga, nigga, you crazy. Like, and then to me, that's not disrespect. So it's all about when you're using it, how you're using it. Like I said, I personally, me being in a relationship with Bar, he don't call me that. That's not something that we're accustomed to. We don't do that. And I don't call him nigga. Like, we don't have that type of relationship. But I know there's people in relationships where they're used to their spouse or whoever they're dealing with calling them a bitch. I'm not okay with that.
So do you guys think it's different how the guy's using it? I think they just touched on that. I think women clearly do. I just think it's hypocritical. That's my opinion. But I can understand where a woman comes from with the manner in which a man uses it.
I personally feel like I have yet seen a man call a female a bitch followed behind pleasant words.
I have numerous times. When a man tell y'all, yo, you a bad bitch, it's cool. That's just one example.
But that's why I also explain it depends on how it's being used. If there's positivity behind the word.
You said you haven't seen it. I have. Mm-hmm. When I'm the bad bitch. Like, come on, so you the bitch I'm caring for, you the bitch I'm trying to do this with. Like, it's cool when men make it appealing to like, yo, you the bitch I'm trying to do this with.
I have heard men in relationships be like, nah, that's my bitch. Like,
and that woman be fine with it.
That's my bitch. Me neither. But I've heard it.
I'm saying I've seen women be fine with it. Yeah, I'm with my bitch right now. Yo, we got to do this, do that. And it's not an issue then. It's just, I think like it's just more confusing from a man's standpoint was, I can hear a woman have a whole conversation. To me, it's demeaning if you and your friend, bitch, and this bitch, and bitch, and bitch, and bitch. To me, it's just like, all right. So if that's regular, when I get upset, don't feel away. I can hear if you see me doing something so much, you're naturally gonna get comfortable to the point where you're not going to see it become an issue. That just be my thing on it. But I can understand where she was coming from with the manner in which it's being said. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that's one of the responses. Somebody wrote, like, if he's saying my bitch, referring to you, yes. Like when a man be like, yeah, this is my bitch, or yo, I gotta do this with my bitch. To this day, I've never seen, and this is me speaking on my account, a woman be like, nah, don't call me that. I'm your woman. Never seen that. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, if it's brought into the relationship like that, that's gonna happen. Bar has never introduced me to anybody as his bitch,
I don't normally call women bitches.
But that's what I'm saying.
I don't even think that, like, when I think of women, the way I used to think of women, I just always never even thought it's like, she just some woman fucking.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I've never, like, that's why I feel like it's how with the relationship, because like I said, I've heard men say that, but I also know those are the same men that when they do have an argument with their female, they're calling her a bitch in a disrespectful manner. So to me, that word is like difficult.
So someone wrote, it's not okay on any level. We all do it, but in all reality, but it's not okay. Disrespect is disrespectful. There is no good meaning in the word bitch or nigga. I completely agree. But I also think you have to understand the modern times and our sense of communication and how we have made those words have become accustomed to just being neutral. Mm-hmm. All right? That's so like, it just comes, it goes with the times and it depends on the person you're with. I think you should establish what you don't want from the gate.
From the gate. That was pretty much my thing.
Don't allow me to call you a bitch and then you mad. Now it's not cool. I think that's ridiculous.
Right. That's why I said I prefer it to not be done at all. But I do personally, when I speak to my friends, it's not often, but we do mention that to each other. And to me, the word bitch is not okay. You know what I mean? But I can't be in a relationship with somebody that feel like it's okay to introduce me as their bitch or feel like it's okay to label me as a bitch, like bad bitch or not. Like he don't talk like that. He don't talk to me like that. So you want to talk to me? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. But so what do you feel is like verbal abuse? You asked me, but like what do you have?
I don't really take verbal abuse into too much account in terms of domestic violence.
Why not?
Because I feel like it's very rare where someone is just shouting demeaning things at you and you're not reciprocating that same energy.
There's a lot, but Stinky, seriously, there's a lot of women that deal with that.
That's what I'm trying to, this is from my understanding. I have yet to see that.
There's a lot of women.
I see a lot of women that will talk crazy to their man and then he get to the blackout phase and he shut her whole shit down and then start belittling her and then start doing that. But what I normally see, and I'm being honest, I very rarely see a woman say something slick and a man just goes out her head or rock her shit. No, what I do see is the buildup when that woman don't chill, or you can see him like, yo, shut up, manja, and she still be doing all of that.
I've
and then
it
reciprocates.
I've physically watched a man come up to his woman's job and disrespect her because she wasn't answering the phone while she was at work.
Do you see more of that or more of the women not shutting up, going crazy, and then the man blacking?
I see
and
more.
Neither is cool.
I see more of what you just said, but my thing is that, like, we're speaking on domestic violence. There's a lot of women who get abused and don't want to speak on it. You get what I'm saying? So that was my thing as well. Like, some women get verbally abused and don't want to speak on it, or they just want to shut down, or they want to keep it quiet. I mean, the same thing that they do with getting physically abused.
This is it?
No.
It's hard for me to understand like a verbal abuse, because I feel like you're an adult. Say something.
Yeah, but see, it's easier said than done.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I said it's hard for me to understand that.
Yeah.
Simply because it's more like, if somebody like talking to you that way.
To me, we grew up in the era where if a man is talking to us crazy, we're gonna talk crazy back.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I know. So
if a woman talks to a man crazy, a man is gonna talk crazy back. But there is still people living in that era where, like, you know, our grandparents grew up where the grandfather would be like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch! Make my meal and do this and clean the house." And there is still women. I've seen it. I've also seen like looking out the window, a man, you know, cursing his girl out like bad, like, "You fucking dumbass bitch! I fucking hate you. I'm gonna fuck you up when I catch you. You dumbass, stupid ass bitch!" Like, to me, you know, like, "You fucking hoe," or this, that, like, everything that you could think of saying in a negative manner was being said. To me, that's verbal abuse. Okay. I feel like that right there is verbal abuse. Like, to me, if you're in, even like what you just said, you see more of women talking crazy and then a man talking crazy back, or a man talking crazy and a woman talking crazy back. To me, that's still verbal. It's being abusive verbally. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, see, I'm just so accustomed to that's
argument.
How women
People
are in
call that
argument.
arguing. It is arguing, but you're
so
still.
I don't even view it as that.
Again, what I feel like arguing is going back and forth, speaking on that topic, that statement, what that is, whatever y'all arguing about, that statement, that right then and there, that's arguing. Belittling each other when you're going back and forth, to me, that's verbal abuse. You get what I'm saying?
I totally understand. Someone wrote, "Yeah, this is definitely verbal abuse, especially if it occurs often."
Yeah, exactly.
That's new to me. I just considered that an argument.
An argument is when both parties are disagreeing on something.
It's new.
Like that's an argument. Both parties are disagreeing on something, whether it's a topic, whether it's an item, whether it's, you know, like an object or anything. Both parties are disagreeing and they're going back and forth about. That's what I was explaining to you. Like, when we argue, we are arguing about what we are arguing about. We're not like, "Oh, you dumbass, hoe ass nigga, this is that." Like, that right there was verbal, and then now we're on the topic. You get what I'm saying? Let me know how you guys feel about like verbal abuse and domestic violence. I seen last week somebody said that a lot of women are lying about domestic violence to get an apartment.
Well, I mean, if you take that into account, then women lie about everything to get an apartment. Not just domestic violence. Their income, who they're living with, who they are with, the father of their child. I've seen it all. So to just point out domestic violence, I think it would be belittling the entire scope of it.
But I feel like with that, you have to give a name. You have to give a person. You have to give to do that. You have to give information on the person that's violent to you.
Well, what they say, because I need an apartment. This is somebody asking, what did they say because they need an apartment? You're an asshole. Google it. I'm sure you can get an answer on Google. I don't really know a lot of women. I don't know a lot of women that do that stuff to get apartments. Like, when I say no, I mean actually speak to and get an understanding.
Me neither.
But I've seen it as a comment. I observe. Yeah, you know, a lot of hood rats that do shit like that. But I mean, I'm not saying it's right or cool. No, I'm not saying it's right or cool. But I don't knock nobody hustle. The same way you don't knock a drug dealer selling drugs to some little kids, I can't knock that woman that's saying that just so her child can have a better living. I don't know her circumstances. That's why I say it's not cool, but I can't knock it.
Yeah.
If there's nothing coming from it, meaning like the police aren't going after the individual she claims putting their hands on and they're not getting arrested, I can't knock it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But if that's causing somebody to get arrested in due time, that shit get you killed. Shit like that get you in trouble. Like that shit you doing that's not okay in the street.
I
Kill? Because you don't know what it's like to be in jail. You're not gonna put me in jail away from my. When you go to jail, you lose your job, you lose income, whatever, your home. You don't know what somebody go through that can change their entire existence in their life. Because you're playing. Now, if I'm a street dude, we don't even play like that. You want to do some shit like that? Now, it's either I'm gonna put hands on you, or I'm gonna shoot you. And then if a man really beat up a woman, that shit could be different.
That's domestic violence.
Yeah, I'm saying if you get me locked up for some shit I didn't do, you want some different shit. The police will go after the guy, and that's dangerous.
That's my point. That's what I was saying. I don't know how it goes.
I don't know how it goes.
But I know that for you to do that, you have to give up a name. You have to give up a person. They're gonna
when the
want
women
to
do
know.
that, the police actually go after the men.
That's what I'm seeing right here. So, okay, so that's my question to the viewers out there. Like, there's women getting apartments, claiming to be in a domestic violence relationship. So, I don't know how it goes. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's like. I don't know how it goes. But if any of you guys have friends or somebody that y'all know that went through it or did it, can you please let us know how it go? Like,
someone
just
wrote,
curious.
Yeah, I heard there's supposed to be some type of police report.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
See? Personally,
I need a fake name and an address, please. This is somebody requesting this. I hope you know the FBI is watching these live feeds. Just know that they're watching this, Juliet. I mean, look, if that's what people do.
It's another comment. No, what I want to speak on about that.
Someone did write, well, I hate that. I work with the DHS. It's messed up. So it does occur often.
What I want to say about that is, I understand that, some women want to, do that because they want to get an apartment or whatever, however, for their child. But I feel like the same way you can do that and go out your way to get a police report and go out your way to have to state this person's name or like I'm speaking on it if it's not true. Like if it's not a real domestic violence relationship and you're using that lie to get an apartment, I feel like the same way you will go about going to the police, getting a police report, that takes time. So taking the time out to do all of that, you can do put that same energy and getting your apartment the correct way.
And this is why like a nigga will call a bitch. Shit like that. The same reason like a woman will call a nigga because he not take care of his kids. It'd be stuff like that. Once you have a police report, you get into a domestic violence shelter. All of that is new to me. I never knew that.
Yeah, shit, I didn't know that either.
Never knew that. But like you can understand how it could be appealing to some women that don't have a child's father that's not doing anything for their children. Mm-hmm. Like I can understand why a woman in spite, he don't want to take care of his kids. I'm stuck here. I need to get a better place for my child. I'm gonna do some corny, and that's not cool. Mm-hmm. Like you gotta really understand the person you're having a child with.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that should be another
thing.
Topic, like understanding your child's parent.
I feel like some people know ahead of time, and some people don't know.
I feel like if you're gonna have a child, make sure you're gonna be able to do it with or without a parent.
Mm-hmm. Like the other
the other spouse, simply because you never know, and you can see the signs ahead of time. And I know some women be like, "Yo, he just did a complete 360." I've heard that many times, but to me, it's also too. All right, you didn't prepare yourself to do anything alone. Mm-hmm. So it varies and depends. But I'm gonna read another comment. Usually, you're first to receive an apartment if you do the domestic violence thing. But what sucks is that it's others that really need the help.
Yeah, but that's my thing. That's my thing. But that's my thing though. Like that to me, shit like that don't make it right. But it's like at the same time, like see, I guess if I was to work in a situation like that, I do know that there's people that really have kids and they might have been put out for whatever reason, or some shit might have happened where they cribbed and got burnt down, or however, whatever, and now they had to go into a shelter, and then here it is, a person comes in and they have a DV case, and now they get their own crib in a matter of time before that other person. You get what I'm saying? So if you're, to me, I cannot knock what nobody's doing. I'm not going to speak on that. But
especially if you've never been in that situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Whether it's cool or not.
Right. But I will voice my opinion and say, to me, the same time and energy that you can take to file a police report and take it that far to get, obviously, the dude in trouble later on down the line to get an apartment is the same type of energy you can use to get the apartment the correct way without doing a DV. I don't know, because I don't know the process that women take to get their apartments. I know I looked, I hunt, I searched, and that took time, and then I got my apartment. Like, I don't know what other women do or how other women do to get their apartments. So I guess I can't really speak on that part.
I don't really care.
What you mean don't really care?
I don't really care for the fact that somebody that has that much... If you're going to do that, you need to get your shit together. If I'm going to file a report that's false on someone else, you need to get your shit together. So I can't care that person is that low in their life where they need to do that. Mm-hmm. I feel like, you shouldn't even give that energy. But that's me. Like, if you got to do that, I don't even like to give you energy. That's just not cool. That's wrong. Mm-hmm. So that's when I say I don't care. Like, I don't have the time to even refer to that. But here's a few comments. The domestic violence cases with children involved will fast forward your process. I've seen someone receive an apartment in 6 months, and she lied on her baby father while he was in jail. How do you do that? Once he came home, he was not able to see his child. This shit gets deep. It's better to be honest.
See, that's what I'm saying. If it gotta be shit like that,
where I say like I don't care because I can't give that energy. That's not cool. You have to remember that there are vouchers that help pay rent. That's all they are looking for. It's laziness, point blank, period. Another comment. Exactly. I don't think it's that fast. I don't know. But you might as well enter the damn lottery and wait on it. All that energy you're putting into filing a report, then you're going to have to go to court and all.
Yeah, see, shit like that. Exactly. I can't entertain stuff like that. I can't entertain stuff like that at all. So that's obviously what we feel and you guys input about domestic violence. Again, like I said, we touched a snippet of it last week. We was also talking about getting surgery and getting your body done or whatever. So whoever missed it, check out last week's. But as far as knowing who you're having a child with, I want to know how you guys feel about that. I want to know how you guys feel about who you're having a kid with. Like, I know some women feel like they was with that specific person, and once the person, their spouse or whoever found out they were pregnant, then that became a different type of person. And I know some men.
Someone wrote, I don't think you ever really know someone. I disagree. I completely disagree.
Yeah.
Like this is just an example. When I know Shatia, I know her good side and her bad side. I know her flaws and all her attributes. I think it takes time. You don't really know someone until they're introduced to money. The opposite sex, for majority of the time, is how men act around women or women act around men, and power. That's when you really know someone's true core. So before you start making life decisions with somebody, see how they act when those things come into the picture. Money, the opposite sex, and power. It tells you a lot about a person. My baby, this isn't someone writing. My baby father was there every step of the way during my pregnancy, and he did change once my son turned 3 months. You don't know someone, you learn them. After you learn them, you know them. That's why I learned him first.
I learned him. No. That's what I learned you. Before we had a child. But I'm saying I learned you before we got deep into a relationship. But I did that because I already had a bad experience with Tamia. That you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like in the beginning me and Bob playing like, oh yeah, we having a baby. No, but that was just something that we always spoke of. Like when we met.
You did want it though, real early.
Yeah.
It did.
Like when we first met, we already knew what we was gonna name. If we had a son, what we was gonna name our son.
And what name did we?
Connor.
Yeah, but that was way after. I'm talking like when we.
No, like when we said Connor or Hunter.
Like, but what do you consider first met? Because see, it
when
will
we
turn.
was sitting over there by that park talking. We was just talking about mad shit. We was sitting. It was like the green. It was by that park, like close to where your family grew up at.
Sumner.
Like before Williamsburg, that area of Borinquen. And it was like a park over there. Do you remember like the park when we were sitting outside and we was talking and you like,
I don't
why
remember,
are you asking me that?
But I'm glad
you like, why are you asking me all these questions? And I was asking you mad questions. I was asking you like mad different shit. And you like, nobody ever really took the time to ask me those things. And it's because I wanted to know. Like, I feel like a lot of people, most of the time, don't take the time out to try to thoroughly know their person or the spouse or the person that they're with before the baby. How do you feel about the whole picking and choosing your child's parent wisely?
I feel like
it's difficult.
It is difficult because I'm extremely I can't speak for everyone else, but I'm extremely picky. Like I have so many standards that I would want as a child's mother. Like it would be very difficult for certain people to need it. And initially there was a time when I thought I wanted to have a child by a woman I wasn't in a relationship with. Simply because once emotions get involved, that's when I see all the corny shit come out with the kids. And when I say corny, it's like, it's just certain shit I feel you shouldn't be doing with children. Period. Like, it's just shit I just can't respect. And then I owe you, no matter what, when emotions is involved, you're going to see the funny shit with the kids. So to me, it's more so like you really got to pick the person that you see taking care of themselves and others for the long term. Mm-hmm. Because I could stop being your man today, so you're gonna stop taking care of the children, or you're gonna start doing some funny shit.
There's a lot of women out there that when the father no longer wants to be involved with you as the mother, they start neglecting their child.
Yeah, and like that shit just thing. So we got some comments. Learn where they came from. My biggest mistake was when I first met my fiance, was not learning and understanding his past and childhood. Your past affects your present and relationships. I kind of agree and disagree because I came from, I think like we all came from the projects and not having much, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And look at us now. But I can understand what you mean, like learn. It's either somebody took what they learned and changed it for the better, or just reciprocated itself and it's just going down the line.
But I feel like if that's the case, that 9 out of 10 mean that they're just relaying what they did in the past to the future, that would only affect what's going on in the future because of those things that happened, in the past. Versus somebody that know they passed, and I want to change that. I don't want my children to come through and do what I have to do. Mm-hmm.
Another one, agree with you. People don't take the time out to know the other party before they have children. That's true too, but I can also speak on how people could be extremely manipulative.
That's true, I could
be a totally different person for a long time. I have two sides to me. So I can understand how some women may be like, somebody was this, or men too, how some person was this way, and then they did a complete 360. But that's why I say you got to see how people act around certain elements, and it shows you their true nature.
Mm-hmm. You got to see how that person is when they're up or down.
Yeah, so that shows you their true nature. Right. Like, see how somebody acting when they when they have nothing versus when they already have it. Mm-hmm. People really, you can see a lot of people.
I also feel like with that, like choosing and picking and doing things like that, it takes time. Like I also know a lot of people who got pregnant and had kids, like got pregnant because they just weren't into getting abortions. So when they got pregnant, they just felt like, I'm gonna keep my child for me. Mm-hmm. I do feel like once you get pregnant, you should have that conversation with the person who was the other spouse. Like, listen, this is what's going on, and I don't know whether you agree or disagree with the situation, and come to a mutual understanding. But at the same token, men have but so much say so. Like, there's women who get pregnant, and it's just like, I'm gonna have this conversation with you. I'm pregnant right now, but nigga, I want my baby.
That's why you can't be mad if you having unprotected sex. Like as a man's point of view, you should already know if she get pregnant, she could do whatever she wants with the baby.
That's my thing.
So why are you having unprotected sex with her?
But right.
So if you have unprotected with her, shut up. You got to deal with it. That's my thing.
But that's my thing.
If you're nutting in
that right there is my thing.
If she has a baby, you better be able to deal with it. Yes,
you guys should have that conversation. Like, you know, babe, whatever, boyfriend, boo, thing, whoever, however, I'm pregnant. Like, you know, this is what's going on. And then the dude like, oh, no, I don't want you to keep that baby. Yo, get an abortion, da-da-da. But if you as a woman don't want to get an abortion and you choose not to get an abortion, that does not make it okay for the man to be like, I told that bitch to get an abortion. Also, I'm not the father. I don't give a fuck.
Unprotected sex with men like that.
Yeah, but again, sometimes you don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes like you don't know that dude is gonna be like that.
Then
like
don't let him come in you.
Everything will be.
Don't let him come in you until you know that. That's what I'm saying. I can totally understand where you're coming from. So if I don't know, I don't know if she's gonna want to keep a child. I don't know if she's gonna want to get an abortion.
But us as women, you saying like, don't let them come in you. Men switch up once the pregnancy happens. Some men switch up.
But what I'm saying is, if you don't know, meaning y'all never had a conversation, you don't know if he's going to want a baby or not. I'm not saying that.
I'm saying you don't know that that's going to be the reaction. You don't know that that's what the dude is going to say.
And that's why I'm trying to
how is it like, don't...
This is why I'm trying to get you to understand. If you have to have that conversation and you didn't, don't let him come in you until y'all have that conversation.
I get what you're saying.
It's the same thing with the man.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, if the situation occurred, and now
because you was letting him come in you, right?
Right. Now here it is. You're pregnant.
It's the same thing with the man. Then the same way a chick could be like, yo, I'm keeping it or I'm not keeping it, you can't be mad. It's the same way versus when you tell him and he tell you get an abortion, that's not what you wanted, you shouldn't be mad. You allow him to come inside of you without knowing prior to, if this is going to occur, will you be able to do this? Are you down for that as a parent?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's going to be an even playing field. Don't let him come inside of you.
I feel like at the end of the day, us as women, like I agree with that because that's me. I'm that type of person. Like, okay, I'm pregnant, and if I want to keep my child, you're either going to be involved or you're not going to be involved. If you're not going to be involved, my child is going to be good regardless. I don't give a fuck. So we're not even going to have that discussion. We're not going to have that. But I know there's some women that at the same token, not even just me knowing there's women like that. Like, I feel like as a man, if you are not ready to have another child or have a child, you shouldn't be coming in her, period, because you don't know if she's ready to have a child. She can,
and that's why
she, as the mother, can be ready to have the child, and him as the man,
that's
cannot
why
be ready. May not be ready.
To both. Don't allow that person to come inside of you. Like, sex is a two-way street.
It is.
So you can also say, nah, I don't want that right now. But my thing, what you just said is like, I never agree with a woman saying, yo, I'm raising this child on my own. I just think that's unfair to a child.
I think that's unfair to a child.
Parents.
I do. I think that that's unfair to a child. But what I do also feel like is it's not me actually witnessing and seeing people go get abortions and their reactions after. I don't think that that's something that people should want to do.
Somebody
like,
wrote,
I know
somebody
that
wrote,
people's
that
mental.
Should be our next topic.
So we'll talk about, all right, so I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the abortion thing.
Totally unfair. That's what someone wrote. Another comment is facts. Way too comfortable to be busting all in me. Put a condom on and be like, nigga, nah, lay this shit out on the table. Where do you see us in the next year or two? So that's somebody agreeing with both. That's why I said it shouldn't just be on the guy.
No, I feel like it's both parties.
Yeah, that's
it takes
what I'm saying.
Two to have sex.
Exactly.
You know
that's what I'm saying. The same way a man would have to deal with a woman get pregnant, the woman has to know ahead of time that man
and that's
possibly
the shit
might not want to be in your life.
But that's the shit that you hear often too as well. Like when men talk about their baby mothers and the bad men, like, yo, my baby mom be blowing my shit like this bitch, all this bitch wanted, all this bitch, you know what I mean? So, but why did you decide to, you know?
That's why you will never hear me talk crazy about somebody's child's mom. Even like, yo, even if my man, even if my bro is disrespecting his child's mother, I'm never gonna say anything negative about that. That's how he feel right now. That's always gonna be his child's mother. Like, I just don't move like that. But it depends. So somebody wrote, but as a woman, you know that you go through hell and high water to make sure that our child is good. Yes, I totally agree. I see many single mothers. I've experienced it my entire life.
Into the relationship with me,
but
being a single mom.
At the same time, too, it's just unfair to the child.
Like I said, I do.
I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying
that. I do agree with that 110%. I do feel like it is unfair to the child.
You can't teach a man how to be a man if you're a woman.
Right, I'm gonna say, especially like the moms that have boys. You know what I mean? It's difficult. Like, I know it's difficult. It has to be difficult.
Of
you
course,
get what I'm saying?
You don't understand what it is to be a man.
Right.
Same thing with the man.
Right.
I can't teach my daughter how to be a woman. I have no understanding of what that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A child deserves balance. That's why I think it sucks when somebody doesn't want to take care of their kid. And now when I say somebody, I know women and men that do it. It's not just men.
Mm-hmm.
And just because a woman has her own kid and doing her own thing doesn't mean she's a good parent.
Right.
You know? And the same thing with a man. Sometimes men aren't cut out to be the best parent to be single.
Yeah.
I think you need that balance. It's just things you can't do. You can't do everything alone.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was meant for a child to have a single parent, it wouldn't take two to make a child.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it's God or any of that. It just wouldn't be.
I also feel like us as the mom and us as parents, women who just genuinely are appreciative and happy and feel like getting pregnant was a blessing to them. So despite what the man have to say, whether they're going to be there or not, this was my blessing. I am keeping my blessing. I'm going to make sure I do everything right by my blessing. That's what I'm going to do. To me, it don't make it okay for the man to be like, yo, listen, you know, I'm not ready for no kid. I understand that you feel like that's your blessing. I don't want to do this. I feel like right then and there, us as women, you get your mind right, get it together. Just know that he's going to be absent. Just accept that he's going to be absent.
So Summer wrote, but that's us being grown. But it's very selfish for you to bring a child into this world, knowing that you'll never get the chance to build a relationship with both parents.
Yeah, I agree.
My heart breaks for my son every day. Like, this is something I can't relate to.
I don't know what that's like. I don't want to know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
I think it sucks and it's not cool.
And I feel like.
But don't make the same mistake twice. That's one thing I have to say.
Exactly.
Don't make the same mistake twice. If you already had a child, if you already had the opposite parent and do you crusty, look out for them signs. Try as hard as possible to not make the same mistake. I know you don't know people, but you can read signs and you're intelligent.
Yeah. That's why like everything was thorough with my second child. Everything we did, everything we did. I already knew him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I made sure and I knew that Bar was a good man because of how he was with Tamia. But there is a lot of women that keep babies feeling like they're going to keep the man.
And I think that's stupid and ridiculous because you're just going to be stuck in the long run. But if you're stupid enough to do that, you're stupid enough to get hurt. That's why I didn't have another one yet. I refuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it like having a child is not easy. The fairy tale shit is over once you come back from the hospital.
What do you mean?
Like the fairy tale. Oh, so cute. Once you get that baby home and you don't have the help of the nurses and you're by yourself. And when I say by yourself, I knew a woman that was really by herself. She had no family, no brothers, no sisters, no mother. It was just her. And I saw how hard it was, yo. That shit not easy. I could never try to raise a kid by myself. I won't even front. Even though there's many times I considered it. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't know how to love my child the way his mother would. I'm a man.
I love my kids.
Here we go.
I love my kids. They get on my goddamn nerves, but I love my kids. And I had my kids for me first. I just need people to just think about that. I had my kids for me first. So even if, anything was to have ever happened, I am still going to make it my business to be an amazing mom to my child.
Can I read this comment?
Mm-hmm. You have one prior too.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, okay.
I can clearly see everything I need to. I was waiting on you. I refuse to have to explain to both children that their fathers are deadbeats. The second child will be raised by my mother because I will be in jail for killing the second baby father. And I think that is ridiculous. So because you made a mistake, now you're going to take yourself being a mother away from your children? Yo, y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. She played too much. Okay, another one. Even though my kid's dad was incarcerated, I could not teach him how to hold their private. He came home and showed them in a week. The goal is to raise the child together. He has to want his child unconditionally and when no one is watching. Yep. Really will kick it once you bring that baby home. For real, man. Like, that's when the nights you're not sleeping, you got to go to work and figure out how you're going to do this and pay for babysitters. That shit not easy. Mm-hmm. That's real, Tia. Love that.
Oh, yeah, I have my kids for me.
Yes,
I love my damn kids. Okay, yeah, rinse it off. You had a dripping oil. See, I love my kids, but they give me tight. Okay, you had a dripping oil on me and everything. Like, come on. No, but yeah. As far as the women that feel like they want to keep their kids to keep the man, I think that is the most stupid thing anybody can ever think of doing. I think that shit is retarded.
Well, some men do that too. Some men get women pregnant so he could be in her life
for the rest of life.
For the rest of life. And listen to what I said, her life, not the child's life. So he could just have a place in her life for the rest of their life.
I think that is stupid. I think that is so stupid. When it's done, like for instance, like when women decide to keep a baby to keep a man, I think that is more worse than a man knocking a woman up to have a part of her life for the rest of her life.
I think it's the same.
I don't think so, because women have more control over that. Like a man knocking you up to have a part of you or be around you or continuously be in your life. You as a woman, you have more control because you can make it to a point where, you're only going to be in the child's life.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So even though you're doing that to see me or be in my life, be
daddy's
around.
Maybe.
Right.
It's like that, bitch.
Like if a man do that, I feel like us as women, we have more control because, okay, cool. You knock me up because you want to be in my life for the rest of my life. But at the same token, we have more control over that.
Yeah.
I can drop the baby off to your mother's house and you can go get the kid from there. I don't got to see you.
Or your mother could not respond and you'd be stuck with the kid.
Or we can have some type of court thing where you get to see the kid when you need to see the kid. But us as women, when we decide to keep a baby for a man, we are stuck with the child.
So come to the comments. Yep, men do it too. That's the mother that be like, I can't stand your fucking ass. You look just like your dumbass father. Yeah, be like that. I'm glad he said that. Yeah, it's like that.
It's like that. Some
kids
get
like
treated
that
away because of how they father.
I disagree with that. I think that shit is not what's up. Like, that's crazy to me.
I mean, I say that too, but like now that I understand women, I can see how a young 15 or 16-year-old parent that doesn't understand life and was hurt by this man can inadvertently do that to their children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like now that I understand how emotional women can be, it happens, man. It's not cool. But you gotta understand that woman's not even a woman yet. She's learning.
And also too, like in the very beginning, for at least up until 2 years, you as a mother can still go through postpartum. You as a mother can still go through those things. So it's like it's up until 2 years at least. Like so.
I know we've heard someone say that evil shit before. Oh, and that's an example of verbal abuse at a young age from someone you love.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's more so like
exactly.
Oh, so then you know what? I was always like where I'm from. It's normal to hear a mother yell at their kid all the time. I can understand now that that's verbal abuse, but I'm so accustomed to seeing that.
I feel like chastising your child and yelling at them for whatever the hell you want to yell at them for is two different things. Like I've seen women like yell at their kid like,
Timmy, no. Timmy, put the cookie down. Timmy, don't stab that young man, Timmy. Oh, depends.
Yeah, like, yeah. Like, I feel like the family can verbally abuse you as well.
Yeah.
Family
but then again, like, yo, man, I'm so sick of this day and age where everybody's so fucking sensitive.
It's not that people are sensitive. Okay. I feel like
everybody's sensitive.
No, I feel like everybody has social media to talk about shit now.
Not only, I'm like, just saying, like, now it's just, oh my God, well, this person called me a name and it just made me feel away and I just can't. Shut the fuck up.
I don't see people.
Get over all the time. Go to these kids' school. Everything is sensitive. Somebody's getting bullied and he's not getting beat on. Then that's not bullying to me. But that's another topic.
What you mean by that?
Like, people consider bullying somebody's bothering, picking with them, he's bullying me. Like, in the new day and age, that's what they consider it. When I was growing up, getting bullied was like somebody beat you up and took your lunch money. Now I can just be verbally abusing or messing with you, talking that, and that's a form of bullying. Or antagonizing someone is bullying. Y'all making these kids too sensitive. This is the real fucking world. You're gonna get called a bunch of things you don't like. Shut the fuck up and get over it. That's just my opinion.
I can agree with that to an extent. Don't fuck with my child. Whether you're verbally
let's change the subject.
Whether you're verbally, if you're picking with my child, if you're talking about you're bullying my child, don't bully my fucking baby. Don't do that. Like no.
Comment. That's because they have gay ass parents. That's extra. I don't want to touch that. But okay, somebody also wrote 2 fathers. That's dramatic.
Yo, she played too fucking
She's
much.
the only person playing.
No, but I do feel like it. To me, it's not that they're making these kids sensitive. I just feel like everybody have something to speak on now because they have somewhere to speak on
an outlet
where other people can relate. So it's so, like I said, you have social media now. So if you go on social media and you talking on social media and you're like, yeah, this nigga punched me upside my head, you're gonna get 25 comments like, oh yeah, my nigga did that to me last week. Oh yeah, this bitch did that. You have people agreeing with some shit. Like before all of this, you could be on the phone with your friend or a family member and talk about it and it's done. Like now everybody wants to run to social media and just go on social media and rip and run and tell everything. You get what I'm saying? So
all right. Okay, sorry. Okay. I know. Tia, please, not right now. People are just laughing.
Think this is funny. I just think like social media, I mean the internet in general has its good pros and its cons. Just learn to use it in a way that's beneficial to you.
So you don't feel like family could verbally abuse you?
No, man.
No?
Really? I mean, I know how people could be like, yo, I just feel like I'm not the type of person that allow words to hurt me.
That's because of how we grew up. You know what I mean? Like we grew up. But I can
understand with like if my mom is calling me ain't shit all the time, or let's just say my father was doing. I can understand how people would see it then, but I didn't grow up like that. Mm-hmm. To me, it's just like at the end of the day, you're strong or not.
Do you guys feel like parents, if you guys have kids, that your child should be afraid of you?
Yes, your child should fear you.
You feel like your child should fear you?
Your child should fear you.
I feel like your child should respect you.
Nah, and I don't agree with that at all. Because respect is flimsy. I could respect what you just said and then totally disregard that. But if I have fear and I know there's repercussions to an action, I might not do that. My child better fear me. I'm gonna love my child. I'm gonna teach my child respect. I'm gonna do all of that. But as a man, my child is going
this
to
right here, because I disagree with him. I feel like they should respect you. That's why kids need to have their mother and their father in their life, because I feel like have respect for me as your mother. I am your mother, and I'm going to show you and teach you the correct way. So respect me as your mother, other than fearing me. Like I feel like. Don't be afraid of me, because if you are afraid of me, you're going to be afraid to talk to me about things. You are going to be afraid of telling me certain shit or doing certain shit around me. And I don't want that. Have respect for me. I would prefer that.
I think you should find a balance.
That's the balance. You feel like they should fear you. I feel like they should respect you.
I don't do this. Like
there's the balance.
Your child being scared of you can cause separation in the long run.
I agree.
See, that's when you have a problem. They won't come to you when they have questions or come to when certain things happen.
Okay, and I totally agree with that. But then when the child is wilding out and disrespecting and not listening and doing all that.
To me, not about being afraid. That right there.
Let me finish.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just simply saying the same balance. I'm saying for that imbalance. So if I gotta be the fearful parent, so the child won't do that. But when that child is wilding, you can't get that child in control and they're disrespecting and doing things that are grown or not. That's when the parent that's fearful should come in. So I think it's a balance. But that's a perfect example why I say it's two.
If your child has respect for you and then now they're wild and they're out of control, then there comes discipline. It's not about being afraid of me. Just know to respect me. And if you don't respect me, I'm going to discipline you.
So when does that respect go out the window when that child is just constantly showing you that there's no respect? That's my question.
It's not that the respect goes out the window.
If I'm constantly showing you disrespect, you don't consider that going out the window?
No, I feel like it should be disciplined. Like it should be discipline behind every time you didn't respect what I told you or respect what I did or respect anything like that. We have a copy over there.
You could read that one right there.
Oh, you not?
You read the YouTubes though.
Okay.
Wasn't you gonna love that?
I agree with you, sis. In the household that I grew up in, I was always feared my mom. So I never talked to her about anything and always respected my father. So I always went to my father about everything, even boys. Yeah. Like I said, I've seen it. I've seen a child being afraid of their mom. So like when I was around, they would like talk to me and tell me certain shit. And I used to be like, well, damn, I definitely got
see, that's different for me. I grew up fearing my parent. But I also was able to go to that parent and ask them things and still do that. That's why I say it's different for me. And then, like, you know, I feel like, yeah, I have to respect my parent, but I am slightly fearful of my parent as well.
Because of the discipline that came behind if you didn't listen. But
that's the fear factor. I think y'all taking the fear out of context. I don't, oh my God, just be afraid of me. No, they should fear a discipline. I think that's probably where the miscommunication came.
Okay, so that's different.
Like when I say fear, I don't, oh my God, my father's home. No, I can have a great relationship with my kid. But my kid needs to know when I'm serious and when things are a certain manner where you're going to listen.
So fear the discipline.
I'd rather say that because I think y'all taking the fear out of context.
No, because I know a lot of children that is afraid of their parents.
I don't.
Like literally afraid and won't talk and don't talk and prefer not to talk. And every time that parent come around, they're real timid and real like, don't even want to look a certain type of way. Like,
I'm so used to growing up with everybody parents is like, yo, when you know how it is in the hood. So y'all on the same page, just view it differently. Yeah, I think we came to that when we said the aspect of the fear thing.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like respect me, but be afraid of my discipline. Exactly. Like if you're gonna disrespect, like for instance, if I tell you what to do, you disregard what I said right there. You disrespected me. Now there's discipline that's going to be followed behind that. And you need to be afraid of the discipline. But like, you know, just directly being, I think it's only different for boys. Girls don't look at it like that.
I think that's what it is too. Maybe our sexes in a point of view. Because I feel like
your mom had to raise you. You're a guy. I feel like y'all had to respect and understand
that too.
Her, like, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like a son should be fearful of his father. Reason I'm saying that is you don't want your son to grow up disrespecting his mother, taking advantage of his mother, and not having any fear. It's different with a man. Now, my daughter, of course, I'm going to want her to feel when daddy come around, but I also want that understanding. But I'm going to put more fear into my son than I would my daughter. Simply because a boy acting out is much different than a young woman. Mm-hmm. So it varies. It depends on the sex. But my son has to understand, like, yo, my father's not playing. I'm not trying to do that right now. That sense of fear has to be.
I feel like both of my kids need to understand that. Like, all right, mommy's serious right now. So mommy's serious. So respect mommy at this point in time because she's serious.
But I mean, whatever works, because everybody could say that, and then look at these white kids that don't fear their parents, and they'll be the fucking serial killers. So when people
but they be the serial killers because
they don't fear their parents,
right? But the reason why they don't fear their parents at all is because when they were 1 and 2 and grabbing shit off the shelves and doing this and doing that, Tom, put it back. We're not. Tom,
they were trying to show respect.
We're not doing that. No, put that shit the fuck back. Don't play with me. Okay. Don't touch shit in here if you're not buying it. Like you gotta be stern.
Respect me, but know that if you don't listen, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Exactly.
But talk to me. You had sex? Let me know. You smoked a blunt? Let me know. Sorry, I can just hear her saying that. That's because they don't get their asses buzzed.
Well, exactly. I have a lot of different views now on whooping ass.
Why?
Because, like, this is difficult for me. I'll wait till another segment for that because I'm going to contradict myself. So I'll wait for another segment to speak on that.
Another segment pertaining to what, though?
Disciplining your child, beating your child.
Okay, so we'll make that another topic.
Exactly.
So, okay. Now, another thing is, they are serial killers because they never had a hot ass whooping.
But that's why, and then they don't fear their parent. So if you kind of grew up in an establishment where you never had to fear repercussions, I don't want to say just the parent, you're more willing to do wild things. I'm just saying, you don't see black serial, and if you do, it's extremely rare. Or mass murderers 95% of the time they're white. Mm-hmm. This is just statistics. This is all true.
No, yeah.
I think that comes from like, yo, I couldn't do certain things in my house. Mm-hmm. You can't do that, bro. Versus
then you also have these kids, you know, being in a house, you know, they be playing around. They be playing around with knives. They be playing around with cutting off their sister's doll heads and shit like that. Well, what you did that for? Just to want to be mean to your sibling. You know what I mean? So they do shit like that. And it's just like that shit like that be to me be signs. Yeah, cutting the doll head.
Well, I mean, it depends. Look, man, raise your kids how you feel is necessary for your lifestyle and the way you were taught, and hope that, you know, it comes the best. That's why serial killers, because they never have had that. But that, yeah, I mean, it depends. It varies, you know. So, yeah.
Well, that's what we feel about.
But you have to look at the times are different from when you were growing up. These kids today. That is true.
These kids today are way more advanced than.
I don't even think they are more advanced. I just think they have more access to information. And when I say that, you can do anything on your computer. But I think the difficulty now is understanding and processing that information. Like, I can have 1,000 things, but if I don't know how to use them, what's the sense? Mm-hmm. Like right now, our daughter could go on the internet and learn a bunch of things. Yeah. But that she has the mental capacity to understand it.
You know that's something I'm a little confused about. Like, you know, some people, a lot of people have always told us that our kids are advanced.
They're not advanced.
And to me, I get a little confused with that because
they just have access to things they're not advanced.
But also, too, I feel like it's about like what you're doing to teach your child at a young age. Connor's only 9 months. He's already saying thank you. He's already. You get what I'm saying? But no. But I'm just saying, some people take that as them being more advanced. No. But to me, it's not that. To me, he's 9 months. So prior to him being 9 months, he's growing. He's growing. So of course, when I give him something, I want him to say thank you because, you know, I gave him.
It's not that. You got to listen. The generation before us thought we were too advanced too. It's always going to be like that. The past generation is going to look at the new generation not understanding because you're not going to be able to. Right. I think the best thing about our generation is we understand the technology. Mm-hmm. Our parents before, all of this shit is brand new. We understand. That's why I say it's just an age of information. If your children know how to process and understand it. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're that much more intelligent than us. Because just as many times as I can say, yo, they might be a genius. They do some shit the next day. It was like,
why the fuck you
did you think about that?
Right.
Do you understand what you just did?
But you see how often we hear that about, like, mainly with Tamia? Like,
what? Like, they're so advanced?
So advanced, you know
I don't think that. Not at all. I just think they're privy to much more information so they can do and understand things we weren't able to at our time.
Yeah,
if you understand what I'm saying. Like, she has access to things I never had access to at that age. Mm-hmm. So, of course, from previous generation, it's going to seem advanced. No, they just have different opportunities.
I feel like now people should be more in tune to their children because of the day and age that we live in. And also monitoring the access that I will have kids. Mm-hmm. And monitoring the access I will kids have.
I'm giving the shots to my son.
Good shots.
No, but like for real. Like
white people not doing that. Have you ever seen a white person fucking up their kid?
No.
Can you imagine? Billy, stop fucking around.
Oh God, Mom. Oh God, Mom. Damn it, Mom.
No, they fuck around the
count your days. Your days are numbered, bitch.
Y'all
count your fucking days, Mom. God damn it, Mom! I'm gonna kill everybody in this fucking house, Mom!
I was just about to say,
because you know Dad keep the guns in there.
I was
in a long house. You're so funny, Connor.
Yo, he's out of line.
That's enough.
No, I was about to say, when mothers be disciplining their kids, the kids' reactions to that shit is hilarious.
I know when I was young, I have 2 brothers. We all used to share a room. Like when Mommy used to wow, the shit that was said in the room after, pure comedy.
That's how we. I think every kid did that. I think every kid did that. I think every kid. Me and Teddy used to go in the room and pop.
Oh, you want to smack?
Shit.
Bitch! You want to smack?
laugh because he want to be involved.
Listen,
we can't laugh around him, y'all. He want to be involved.
Oh my god.
No, but
I needed that.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I needed that.
That's a fact. I feel like if a white person discipline a kid, they better count their days.
Yeah, and I also think that's just a difference in.
Oh, what I want to speak on with that too. When, for instance, if my mom disciplined us or whatever, and then we had like something to say after, we also got in trouble for that as well. So, like, for instance, oh, go pick that up or go in your room right now. And we'd be like, My mother will beat us for saying, or clap us for saying, or what was that? I didn't hear that. What you said? Like, and got one of those. I feel like with white people, they get their ass whooped and they like, you count your fucking days. And the mother is just like,
and she really should have been got her days because little Timmy killed the whole fucking family.
Right. Or if the kid will be like, I'm going to kill everybody in this house. And they'll be like, what? Like, we'll hear our kids say, or even if too, we used to get in trouble for saying hate. Like, I hate this house. You what? I ain't hear you. What was that? You hate what? You get in trouble for that. White kids and shit, they can say shit like that.
Well, I mean, I think it's just cultural differences, you know?
It is, but that's why I feel like them motherfuckers be off the rails.
Into therapy, John goes. Little Johnny doesn't need therapy.
Exactly. So
my
these fucking
sweetie.
kids with therapy and shit.
Can you give him his bubble, please? Every time
He don't want that shit.
I'm tired of you telling me what. Give him his bubble. I don't care what it. How many months is he?
9.
Don't tell me what a 9-month-old wants. I hate that fucking notion.
But so there goes, guys. Discipline. Verbal abuse. I think some people mix up the two. Verbally abusing their child and disciplining their child.
I mean, well, to me, I think discipline should be an understanding of teaching your child for every action, there's a reaction. For everything you do, there's going to be consequences behind it, whether it be good or bad. Mm-hmm. Getting your child to understand the difference between right and wrong, what occurs between the two after the fact is done, is the key to it. But that's why I say, like, I could be extremely strict on my child, but I could be very teachable to my child. Mm-hmm. They can understand. Like, even when my child did something wrong, they know they did something wrong. It's not like they didn't know they weren't supposed to be doing it. They understand what they did. They know why. Mm-hmm. I'm big on just explain to me why you did that. And if I get the I don't know, that shit infuriates me.
Right.
I would much rather say, look, this is what I did. I know it wasn't right. All right, now deal with the consequences. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. Just but when you do something and you don't know why you did it, I know I'm not raising a fucking idiot.
Right.
I know I'm not gonna do something like, oh, I don't know why I did that. No, I made a decision and you have to learn. I'm trying to teach my children, like, yo, if you make a decision, you're gonna have to deal with that decision. Right. Whether it be good or bad. So if I choose to do something, I gotta be ready for the consequences. So if you choose to misbehave in school, you know what comes along with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you're not just gonna be doing something I don't know. Okay.
That's to me a favorite line. That shit gets me so upset.
Oh yeah, that shit infuriates my entire.
You don't know why you did that?
But she knows.
Oh, so now I don't know why I'm about to bust your ass.
I don't know why we can't have cake and ice cream every day.
Right.
I don't know why you can't go to Dunkin' Donuts get on snacks. I don't know why when I'm eating snacks I can't share it.
Right.
I don't know shit. But that's just me.
So can
I what? I'm just saying.
Can you repeat the things that we spoke about
today? So some of the things we did touch today was domestic violence, cultural differences between black and white children, growing up,
counting your fucking days.
Counting your fucking days. Sorry. But yeah, we touched on a few things. I mean, a lot of the comments are extremely helpful. So the people that are commenting and responding,
we greatly appreciate you.
That stuff is really appreciated also, because it opens the dialogue.
We appreciate if you would just inbox us, write us, or comment under here what you guys feel like we should talk about next. We had a comment that somebody said we should speak about abortions next. So if y'all feel like that's something that we should speak about,
yeah, then, like I'm mixed on that. Like the same way I'm mixed on physical. What? You
also said earlier that you want to save it for another segment, but we spoke about discipline.
Yeah, but I mean like physically beating your child. Like my views kind of change on it.
But so you wouldn't want to speak about it now because we spoke about discipline. So you want that to be a completely different topic?
Yeah, like really beating your child versus not beating your child.
Like busting their ass.
Like physically beating your child. Like it varies. Like, and I know I'm gonna contradict myself, so I'd rather wait until I like really think about it.
Okay. So I think we'll do some polls. I haven't been doing the polls and everything like that because I've really been promoting it more. And if you guys like and appreciate what we are doing, please just subscribe to the YouTube channel. We always repost the YouTube video on Facebook as well. So please do that. And we'll most likely speak on abortions next Sunday and physically whooping your child's ass.
Abuse. All right, guys.
Have a good night.